That Career Dilemma Show. I'm Paul Madsen, and you have joined us at That Career Dilemma Show, which focuses on people in career transition, job transition, starting and launching new businesses, helping them to figure out how to advance their career story. I am so excited about today's program because I have three stellar guests, and it's a real gathering of talent. We'll get to that very soon and introduce each of our guests. But thank you for joining us. This is episode number 6 of That Career Dilemma Show. So we're coming along. The first episode, we focused on helping a guy find his niche in the marketplace. Second episode, we helped another guy find his way with interviewing skills and how to do that. Third episode, we talked with a young lady who talked to us about how to find her true calling in work and things like that. One of our best rated shows ever, by the way. And then we talked about another salesman in episode 4, how he can market himself and brand himself a little bit better in the marketplace. Episode 5 was a young lady, a millennial, who had two-day jobs and in fact had written a book and was trying to figure out how to market herself and market that book. Again, a very well-rated show. Thank you for all of your views. Thank you for all of your hits on and comments and support of the program. Welcome back again. I'm Paul. This is my guest. And before we get going introducing them, I wanted to let you know about July special for freejobcoaching.com. What I do is offer in July a interview preparation. Many of you have job interviews out there. One of my specialties over the years and years of preparing people for job interviews is just that. And I'm offering a $47 special. Check out the website, freejobcoaching.com, in order to get your preparation. I mean, people pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get their taxes prepared. Why? Because they only do it once a year. They're not very good at it. Think about the analogy, right? And think about the analogy with interviewing. How often do you interview for a job? Yeah. Not very. So why not get a little bit of support? And I'm much cheaper than the tax preparer. So, make sense? Okay, well, I got them a nod. That's great. They're my guests. What are they going to do? Say no? Right. So anyway, so that's a July special. Check out freejobcoaching.com, and we can learn more there. Also, check out Metropolitan Community College. I am teaching classes this summer and this fall in career dilemma workshops, in side hustles, in profit and growth from what you know. Metropolitan Community College, non-credit courses. I'm teaching several different courses there. You can learn about that on that website. So check out that, and I think that's all our housekeeping type stuff. This show is partially sponsored by onqmarketing.com. onqmarketing.com, it specializes in SEO, search engine optimization, and on video, videography, and so on. Check it out for some more services there. Plus, ziprecruiter.com. ZipRecruiter will help make your hiring easier. One dashboard, hundreds of websites. Some of you guys should check that out. All your hiring is like, I know hiring's tough, right? Yeah. So check that out. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. So those are the two sponsors. Thank you for that. And with that, I am done blabbing and eager to get on to introducing my guests. To my right is Scott. Now this is going to be confusing, so hang on. Scott is a founder of a co-founder. I'll let him explain it, of a company, and they have one of the tightest business niches I have ever heard of. you can't believe it. I'll let him go into the detail, but. Next to him is Caree, co-founder of another specialized company with a very unique individual focus. And lastly is, get this, Scott, who also is the owner of his own company. So we have 3 entrepreneurs tonight, each of their founders and co-founders, and they have great stories to tell. So with that, Scott 1, tell us a little bit about your company and yourself.
Well, my name is Scott, and I'm practice manager and business manager of a veterinary surgical centers in Southern California.
Veterinary surgical centers in Southern California.
Yep.
Okay, great.
So, focusing on high-end specialty scheduling. So if you need your dog's hip replaced, TPLO surgery, things along those lines, high-end elective surgeries for that. So it's a referral-based and niche market.
Very niche, much a niche. Who would have think there would be clinics dedicated to doing hip replacement for Fido? I mean, I would have never thought of it, but, I mean, you're establishing several clinics, is that correct?
Yep.
And
Yep.
somewhat of a property management approach?
Yeah, it's a unique approach, so we're building facilities to help with the current business need.
That's a really tight niche. I often teach my clients, what niche do you fit into? Where do you exactly fit? Where are your strengths? And nichemanship is everything. How tightly, the more tightly you focus, the more your market will be, the bigger your market will be in a lot of cases. And so that's an excellent example of that. So
It's very specific.
yes, exactly. And that's a need that you found and served. That's wonderful. And how old is the company and how established are you now?
Well, we're starting construction we just had the first week of construction, the first facility is going up, but the business has actually been around for the last several years.
Okay, and just getting ramped up to how many clinics or facilities do you expect to have?
Hoping to have 3 in the next 2 years.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Lots of phyto hips out there. At any rate, to Scott's right is Craig, and Craig is a co-founder of an energy-related company. Craig, welcome. Thank you for being on the program.
Thank you.
And Craig, tell us a little bit about your background and then also about your company.
My background is in construction. I've been in construction all my life. Our company specializes in energy efficiency testing of residential homes and then those kind of improvements to make the house more energy efficient, whether it's insulation, spray foam, windows, and we're moving into solar and looking to the renewable piece to then power those homes.
Okay, and what's your main market location?
We're out of Denver, Colorado. The company's called Re-Energize Co.
Re-Energize Co.
Co.
Re-Energize Co. And again, you're helping homes to become much more efficient. And why is it? What incents a homeowner to do that? And why do they do that? And what can you help them with?
So it depends. We get people that come from all different kind of realms. Some people come to us for energy savings as far as bills, high bills, and then other people come from a comfort standpoint. So they have a bedroom in the house that is either too hot or too cold, depending on the season, and they're looking to improve that. And that can be done with building science and looking at the house as a whole and fixing the system. And we do that through an energy audit on the house. It's a set series of tests and a bunch of equipment to test the home, and then we can make recommendations so that how we fix those and improve the overall comfort of the house.
Great. And there's some energy companies help incent the homeowner to do that sometimes?
For sure. So the local utilities, they would like to see people use less. That seems kind of counterproductive.
Yeah.
They're selling the energy, but it's much cheaper for them to incentivize a homeowner to make these improvements to the house than to go out and buy power off the grid at peak times.
Sure.
And then it helps stabilize the curve for them, and then it's also cheaper than building a new power plant.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure. Well, thank you. Interesting, again, another very tight niche, so viewers can remember that focus on a niche, focus on a tight need, and that will help you to expand your marketability. Thanks, great. Next to him is Scott too, also Scott, and Scott is the founder of his own firm. Scott, tell us a little bit about your background, your location, and what your firm is.
Yeah, excuse me, I'm the other Scott, and
Not Scott too, the other
The
Scott.
other
I like that. I like it. Okay.
so I'm an attorney, and have been for about the last 8 years.
Okay.
It's a second career basically for me. Prior to that, I was law enforcement for nearly about 10 years.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's just kind of a different change that I took on, of course, of my career. After going to law school, I started out a solo practitioner right out of law school. In the last couple of years, I've joined up with another attorney, and we've started up a law firm in Holland, Michigan, a J&C law firm. And we just kind of do a variety of practices, I guess, in a sense, between the two of us. So.
Gotcha. Very good, and I'll ask you a little bit more about your practice specialty as we go along here. But the question of you and the other gentleman is kind of why did you all take the jump? I mean, we have people viewing the program who are maybe have been in a career for 8, 10, 20, 30, 35 years, and all of a sudden they're in a major transition, and they need to do something new, and they're trying to figure out, well, I'm having a hard time getting a job, maybe I should start a business. And each of you were in corporate America, I know, before you did this, and in public service and so on. Why are you an entrepreneur now? Oh, start with Scott, you're close.
Well, I needed my values to align with my priorities and my actions, and they weren't lining up. And I said my faith and my family were most important, and my career was coming first, and I needed to change things and reestablish how it was set up. So.
And I know you a little bit, of course, and your career was consuming you.
Mm-hmm.
You're a fast tracker at a major corporation, and how many hours a week were you working?
It varied, but there wasn't much time for family.
Yeah, it's not enough time for family
Yeah.
anyway, so
Yeah.
and you realized at one point that this just isn't working.
Right, so I needed a little better work-life balance, needed to figure out how I can spend more time with my priorities and with my family and with my faith, and so I thought, well, I need to find a way that I can do that, and this is one of those.
Well, but you didn't quit your job with another job in mind.
No.
Tell us about the leap you took.
So-
The entrepreneurs sometimes have to take that
So
leap
I-
of faith. In your
yeah.
case, it was
So I
truly
spoke,
that.
so I spoke with my wife, and she said, well, you know, your actions aren't actually lining up. What are you gonna do about it? And I said, well, you know, you're probably right. So I walked in and put in my notice and said I'll be here for the next month.
And
so
I always tell people never to always have the next thing lined up before
Yeah.
you, and you didn't do that. But
Yeah.
you did.
No,
You had confidence.
Yeah.
You know. You weren't. He wasn't unemployed, so he came from a position of strength, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, and we had a little bit of cushion saved up, so we knew
Good.
that things were all right. But
Okay.
it was really a leap of faith, and showed up and had several interviews, had a couple of offers, and realized it still wasn't what I was looking for. And I've always heard that you should find the need, figure out what you're good at, and then figure out how you can apply your skills towards that need.
And how did you move into that and do that with this opportunity that you're doing
Well,
now?
it was through relationships, through networking, and through connecting, and trying to figure out, you know, what skills do I bring to the table. And what I'm currently doing now actually wraps up my corporate experience, my business experience, my education, and actually my livelihood.
Fantastic.
growing up,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic how it all came together and happened after Scott took that leap of faith and made it happen for himself. What I like about Scott's story is how he had corporate opportunities, corporate job offers after he quit a corporation and realized the rats were still there. The rat race was still just a different colored rat,
Wasn't a
right?
change, yeah.
Yeah. And so at that point, did entrepreneurship appear to be a more optioned or a more flexible lifestyle for you? Is that what?
No, not initially, no.
Not that you're not working hard.
Initially, I was looking at the paycheck, and I was trying to figure out, okay, well, how does this work? And I was talking with my wife about it. She said, so let me get this straight. So you're telling me that leaving where you were and chasing after the same things was a poor decision, and spending more time at church and spending more time with your family was a poor decision. Yeah. Mhm. You're right.
So,
And that required a different approach.
sure. And the entrepreneurial thing seemed like the best path.
Yeah, after some conversations, we sat down and figured out how we can actually set it up and make it work, and drew up some basic numbers and put together a business plan and thought, hey, this could work, and reached out to several folks who would invest in it and see what it looked like, and there was significant interest, and so.
Again, you found that tight niche and that
Yeah.
tight need, and that really helped you to make this path, create this path.
Right.
And you created that solution, help with the help of others. That's a fantastic story, and I just love how you made things happen for yourself and recognized that you needed to zig rather than zag back into corporate America. Craig, you were putting in 80, 90 hours a week, working not in a cubicle, but
For sure.
and why are you an entrepreneur?
So I think the need and the want came at a young age. I always wanted to own my own business. I tried many of businesses as a little kid, mowing lawns and trying to do landscaping for neighbors and that kind of stuff.
You were always a hustler.
I was always trying.
Yeah.
And, you know, I went to corporate America for security, I think originally coming out of college. It's the easy thing to do is to go get a job where they're gonna send you a check every day.
Yeah.
But that really began that work-life balance, that understanding that, you know, I had friends getting married, I wasn't getting invited to their weddings, and I thought that was just,
Why was that?
I was angry, and then I thought about it, and I hadn't seen people in like 2 or 3 years. I worked around the clock and had a lot of success,
Yeah.
and I was selling roofing materials to roofers, and I would see guys come in, and they looked as successful as I was, and they were going to the lake or doing whatever, and I said, well, if that guy can do it, I'd be able to figure this out. It's
Yeah.
not that hard.
Okay.
And it was more, you know, personal to own my own show, but also to be able to I knew I could do it better than other people. We hear that contractor, and you know, that's some guy runs away with money, or doesn't finish the job, or is always late, or really hard to show up and get quality work.
Yeah.
And not groundbreaking by any means to do what you say and
Right.
show up on
Yeah.
time and
Yeah.
produce a good product and deliver at the end of the day. And if you do those kind of things, those business 101, it works.
Yeah, well,
Surprisingly.
do what you say and be reliable and predictable, and in that world, maybe there's some people who weren't, and you said, I can probably do that, and you saw that if they can do it, I can do it, right? And so that's inspiration, plus you were, I love this story, no one's inviting me to weddings anymore, I had no more friends, I just ignored them all. That's all the time.
I mean,
And not that you don't work now, you work plenty hard, probably harder on your own thing, right?
You do. I mean, when it's yours, when it's your passion, it's easier to get up to go to work. You know, I'm
Yeah.
not a morning guy. I'm in the office at 6 a.m. every day,
Yeah.
Monday through Friday.
There you go.
And it becomes easier when it's your deal,
Oh, sure.
and when you're passionate about it, and people around you are passionate.
Mhm.
And you know, I tell people in interviews all the time that there are plenty of jobs out there. People looking for jobs, it's great. We're looking for people that want what we want. They
Yeah.
want that to be the ability to work and then also enjoy their families. And it goes to some of the simple things we do. We don't work on the weekends, never. You know, we get a lot of pushback
Sure.
from customers. They
Yeah.
want us to
So-and-so,
show up on
yeah.
a Saturday.
Yeah.
We don't do those kind of things.
Well, I heard a story about your company where a customer had your people in, and they were amazed at how much your people respected each other and worked well together and were polite and courteous. And guess what? Where does that start, Scott? The top,
Starts
right?
at the top.
Starts at the top. So great. Timer. How are we doing on time? 10 minutes or so
18
left?
minutes, you're at 18,
Oh.
so you have 12 left.
Okay, all right, cool. We don't want to get in trouble with our sponsor. Anyway, Scott, you have a very stable position with law enforcement and a growth career track ahead of you, and you know, had no reason to worry about continued employment. So many of the people I work with have had a break in their career and are wondering, is now a time to start a business or something like that? What led you from stable, secure position to a very risky solopreneur situation?
But it just got to the point in the career, I guess, with after being in law enforcement for a while, whether I wanted to do that the rest of my life or move on to something different. I've always had the thought that I wanted to teach and so forth, but with being in law enforcement, that interests me big time in the law, obviously.
Sure.
So it got to the point where I made the decision that I was going to go back to law school and do that. So in order to go back to law school, I had to give up the job because law
Right.
school was
Sure.
a couple hours away. So,
Yeah.
you know, at that point, made that decision. Yeah, it was pretty tough to make
Yeah.
that decision.
Well, yeah, it's not only to start in that situation, starting the practice, which has started with 0 customers, I assume, but there's a
Yeah.
3-year ramp-up period to get your JD, right?
Yeah, it
That's
took
it.
3 years to get the
Yeah.
JD, and, you know, get forth with it, and going through law school was always my intention of coming out and opening up my own shingle, my own office.
And why your own? Why not join a thriving law practice?
I think it's just the challenge that I wanted to do to, you know, put on myself to prove that, you know, I can take a business and run it and continue it and grow clients and grow relationships and so forth. And, which is, you know, fostered into, I mean, the first 3 years were pretty tough.
Sure, yeah.
But it's moved into a firm with another attorney, so.
And tell us again the name of your firm.
JNC Law Firm.
JNC. J as in John.
JANDC lawfirm.com.
JNC, okay, great. We'll
So,
make sure people know about that as well. Well, and you, it sounds like you just wanted that control. You wanted to be your own person.
wanted to kind of be my own boss and you know, take the responsibility and you know, be able to set my own schedules and work at what I wanted and
Sure.
and so forth, so.
And sounds like all three of you have that same issue. We want to take control of our own destiny. I think that's what all of us as entrepreneurs want. And but you know, that's just a tough thing sometimes to make that jump, and because it's so scary, because there's not an assured line of income there. There's none of us have any of that, any of your businesses.